Welcome to Clue Harbor Says, where every story hides a secret.
Room 208. I used to think nothing could really break me. Not after everything life had already thrown my way. But that night, that one quiet, ordinary night in room 208, it changed something in me. And I'm not sure it's ever gone back. I'd been traveling for work back then. Long drives, empty highways, late check-ins, the kind of rhythm that turns days into a blur of rest stops and coffee cups. That evening, I remember the road was slick with rain, streetlights stretching across puddles like broken glass. My GPS kept losing signal somewhere outside the city, so when I saw a dim sign that said Lakeview Inn, vacancy, I didn't even think twice. It looked old, but clean. One of those roadside motels built decades ago when travel was slower and people cared less about star ratings. The clerk barely looked up when I signed in, just slid me a key card, told me the Wi-Fi password, and said my room was upstairs, 208. I remember thinking the number sounded balanced, 208, even numbers, safe somehow. The hallway smelled faintly like lemon cleaner and something older underneath. Wood maybe, or dust. The carpet had that faded red tone you only see in places that haven't been updated since the 90s. Still, it felt fine, normal. I was just tired, cold, and ready to sleep. When I first opened the door, the room was dark except for the light leaking in through the blinds. Something about the air felt heavier than it should have been. Not musty, just still. Like no one had opened a window in a long time. But I shrugged it off, tossed my bag on the chair, set my phone on the nightstand, and sat on the bed. The mattress was cold. Not just cool, actually cold. Almost like the sheets had been waiting. I turned the heater up, clicked on the lamp, and pulled out my laptop. Emails, deadlines, the usual noise. I remember thinking how quiet the place was. No footsteps, no cars, not even the hum of a vending machine. Just the faint buzz of the overhead light flickering every few seconds like it was trying to hold on. And then, the mirror caught my eye. It stood right across from the bed, a tall, rectangular one, built into the wall. Nothing special about it, except every few seconds, it would glitch. I don't know how else to explain it. The reflection would shimmer, just slightly, as if the glass wasn't completely real. At first, I figured it was the lamp behind me, maybe the light flicker reflecting. But even when the light was steady, the mirror wasn't. It would twitch, just barely, like the world inside it was breathing differently. I remember laughing at myself. Tired brain, long drive, cold room. That's all it was. But somewhere deep down, something already felt off. I fell asleep around midnight, I think. The heater had finally warmed up the place, and the rain outside had softened into a steady rhythm. I remember turning on some low jazz on my phone just to have background noise. But I woke up at exactly 3:08. No sound, no light, just knocking. 3 slow knocks right at the door. I thought maybe someone was lost. Maybe the front desk messed up another guest's key. But then, before I could move, it came again. Knock. 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 Same rhythm. Same pause between each one. Like whoever was outside knew exactly what they were doing. I froze. I didn't say anything, didn't get up. Just listened. And then, silence. After a minute, I got up and checked the peephole. Nothing. The hallway light outside was on, casting that yellow tint over everything, but there was no one there, not a sound. When I turned back, the mirror was flickering again. Only this time, It wasn't just a shimmer. It looked like the reflection of the room. My room was a few seconds behind. I'd move my hand, and the mirror version of me would move slightly later, out of sync, and the air felt colder again. The kind of cold that doesn't come from temperature, but from presence. I turned on every light I could, TV, lamp, bathroom, all of it. It didn't help. The room still felt wrong. I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at that mirror for a long time, waiting for something else to happen. But nothing did. Just the quiet hum of the heater and the faint ticking of my watch. Eventually, exhaustion won. I must have fallen asleep again, because when I woke up, sunlight was spilling through the blinds. Everything looked normal, almost too normal, like the night had been a dream I didn't fully remember. I packed my bag, checked out, and stopped at the front desk to hand in the key card. The woman at the counter smiled, a different one than last night. She looked maybe in her 50s, kind eyes, polite tone. I told her casually, "Hey, you might want to check the heater in 208. It's really cold in there." She froze. Her smile didn't fade right away, it just sort of stuck there. Then she said something I'll never forget. "Sir, that room's been closed for years." She said it so softly, like she was afraid I'd ask more. And I did. But she just shook her head and said, "We don't rent that one out anymore. I'm not sure who gave you that key." I tried to laugh it off, but I could feel my pulse rising. I told her I'd checked in last night, that someone had given me that key. She insisted again. The room wasn't in use. Maintenance issue, she said, ever since the accident. I didn't ask what accident. Something about the way she said it told me I didn't want to know. I just left. But here's where it gets strange. That night, when I got home, I checked my phone. I always take random pictures when I travel. Hotel rooms, parking lots, receipts, little memory markers. But I couldn't find a single photo from that night. Not one. It was like my phone skipped straight from the day before to the day after. Even the GPS log showed nothing between those two towns, just a blank line. I tried to convince myself maybe I'd just been too tired, maybe I didn't take any, but then I noticed something else. In my camera roll, there was one picture, a single blurry image, completely black, except for a faint reflection of something metallic. When I brightened it, I realized it looked like part of a mirror, a tall rectangular one, with my own faint reflection in it, only my face was turned away. Weeks passed. I didn't think about it much. You'd be surprised how quickly the mind edits its own memories, smooths out the parts that don't make sense. But sometimes, right before falling asleep, I'd still hear it, that slow rhythm. Knock, knock, knock. And sometimes, and this is the part I've never said out loud, I'd wake up around 3:08 for no reason, always 3:08. I'd look at my phone, tell myself it was just a habit, but once, half asleep, I glanced at the mirror across my bedroom, and I swear I saw someone standing behind me. Just for a second, then gone. Months later, out of pure curiosity, or maybe guilt, I looked up the Lakeview Inn. It took a while to find. It wasn't even listed anymore, just a few old mentions on forgotten travel sites, photos archived from years ago. And then I found it, a newspaper snippet from 2012. It mentioned a fire in one of the upper rooms. A guest had fallen asleep with a space heater running. Room 208. They said the fire started near the mirror, melted part of the wiring behind it. The guest was never found. Never found. Not burned, not identified. Just gone. I remember staring at that line for a long time, feeling this strange, hollow pull inside me. Because the article had a photo. a grainy black and white picture of the hallway, the same faded red carpet, the same number on the door. And right below it, in the caption, it said, "Room 208 has remained unoccupied since the incident." That was over 10 years before the night I stayed there. I don't tell this story often. It sounds crazy when you say it out loud. And honestly, I wish I could just file it under strange coincidences. But sometimes, late at night, I still dream of that room. The cold sheets, the flickering mirror, the sound of 3 soft knocks in the dark. And every time I wake up, I check the clock. And every time, it's 3:08. I moved last year. New place, new furniture. But when I unpacked, I found something in one of my boxes that I don't remember packing. A small plastic key card, white, slightly burned along the edge. There's no logo, no hotel name, just a number printed in faded ink. I've thought about throwing it away, but something stops me every time. Sometimes I tell myself it's just a glitch in memory, or maybe the brain's way of blending dreams with reality. Other times, I'm not so sure. Because lately, when I walk past my bedroom mirror at night, I can see the faint outline of a door behind me. Just a door, with numbers that look an awful lot like 2, 0, 8. And sometimes when I'm too tired to move, too scared to breathe, I swear I can hear it again. Faint, steady, almost polite. Knock, knock, knock. And every single time, no matter how much I tell myself it's just in my head, I can't help but think, maybe that room never wanted to stay closed.